Okay guys, lubed up the second piece of brass to try this out, and I have loaded thousands of rounds and I have never had a stuck case. And guess what? I have my very first stuck case. I don't know, Barnes did not recommend these Hornady dies. They said only go with RCBS, and that's all I've ever used. And now I've got to try and figure out how to get this baby out of there. Knurled the edges. I was using the dry lube. I've used it. I've always used that. Never had a problem. Went down. Didn't want to come back up. And I ruined my second piece of brass. I wasn't able to unscrew this, but I hate to hammer this down. So we got to figure out a way of getting this brass out. So that's our project for the day, because we can't load any of these ELD matches until we get a second case in this die. And Barnes told me that they were not fans of Hornady dies, and I guess this is why. Now we're back to, I think I'm going to go with these. We're back. So have to get the tap and dies out and drill this thing out. Drill out, trying to keep from hitting the decapping pin. Next. Okay, next thing you need to do is find a tap that'll work for your screw and stay as straight as you can possibly be. But remember that decapping pin is down in there. So we got to put threads into that. And then we're going to try and get her pulled out. I'm trying to match these threads up here. We're going to put a series of washers on there. So try and stay as straight as you can. And if you've never tapped before, you might want to back it off. Remember, you're just going into brass. All right, guys, I didn't use a big enough drill bit. I'm going to have to go the next size up. I'm trying to keep from wallowing out the hole, but my tap won't go any further. See, my tap won't go any further. I'm going to have to go the next drill size bit and hope I don't chew those threads up. Okay, guys, the hardest part is when you're going to get to the bottom of the primer pocket. You're just going to have to take your die and just work it back and forth. Remember, it's just brass. But once you get it through there we go. As you can see, now we're freewheeling. So once you get that through, you get the type through there, you will see that we now have threads in there. So then what I'm going to attempt to do is we're going to take this bolt, we're going to get us a ratchet wrench, deep well socket right here, and then we're going to have some washers up here, and we're going to put a ratchet wrench on this. The problem is I got to find this stuff in this mess of a garage, so I'll be right back with you. The reason this happened is I cannot find a shell holder, the correct size shell holder. So this is for a PRC, and I went with a shell holder for a 300 Win Mag. And the Win Mag, the 300 shell holder is 2/1000 of an inch looser. I was just hoping that it would float in there a little bit, but that 2/1000 is all it took to rip the lips off here. That's all it took, was 2/1000. And Unbelievable how tight this booger is. Huh. Unbelievable. We are going to have to get out a cheater. 1/2-inch drive. I think it just let go there. Finally. I just can't believe that I had to get out that. How a little piece of brass can be that tight in there. But I think I just heard it let go. Your biggest problem dies to it. I did need to put 2 washers, and you can tell these washers are basically shot now. Look at that. And I used a 14mm socket. Oh, come on. There it goes. All right. Now we are going to have to, I'm afraid, cut this right here. It ain't good. I'm going to have to cut it out. All right. And see, look, I'm still got lube on this. Still got lube. I don't know. I've never had anything. I've had, in 10 years, I've had one. On 223, I had one case stuck, and it's because I was only lubing once every 10 rounds. Because on my 25-06, I only do like every 10th round. I've never had a problem. So, okay, the only way I could find to get the decapping pin out was to cut the case in half. So just get you any kind of pipe cutter. And that's the only way I could get it out. I was amazed to find out how thick this brass is. And how thick, see that case head, it comes all the way to there. I did not realize how thick that primer pocket actually is. So anyways, interesting.